Look at your life. Not the version you post. Not the version you describe to other people. The real version. Your habits, your focus, your body, your standards, your peace. The promises you keep making to yourself and quietly breaking. Now hear this carefully. Your future is not being destroyed by one huge mistake. It is being shaped day by day by the weaker version of you that you keep protecting. The version that says tomorrow. The version that wants comfort before effort. The version that keeps asking how it feels before it asks what needs to be done. And if you don't end that version soon, it will become your future. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. In this video, I'm going to show you why the weaker version of you is still in control, why motivation keeps failing you, and what it actually takes to replace self-betrayal with discipline, standards, and self-respect. Because this is not about becoming somebody else overnight. It's about finally stopping the version of you that keeps dragging your future backwards. You do not need a better mood. You need a stronger code. Most people think their biggest problem is laziness. It isn't. If you were truly lazy, you wouldn't feel frustrated after wasting another day. You wouldn't feel that pressure in your chest when you know you're capable of more. You wouldn't keep hearing that quiet voice telling you that the life you're living is beneath what you know you could build. You're not just lazy. You're over-tolerant. You tolerate inconsistency. You tolerate distraction. You tolerate staying in environments that drain you. You tolerate habits that make you weaker. You tolerate broken promises to yourself. You tolerate living below your own standards, then wonder why your confidence is disappearing. Every time you tolerate what you know is beneath you, you send yourself a message. This is acceptable. This is normal. This is who I am. And over time, that message becomes identity. That is how people become weaker without noticing. Not through one massive collapse, but through repeated permission. Your life always reflects what you repeatedly allow. If you allow chaos, your mind becomes chaotic. If you allow weak boundaries, your peace disappears. If you allow distraction, your focus gets replaced by noise. If you allow yourself to keep quitting in private, your self-respect starts dying in silence. That's the part people don't talk about enough. Self-respect is not built by saying good things out yourself. It is built by becoming someone your own mind can trust. And trust is built when your actions start matching your words. Not sometimes, consistently. You say you want peace, but you keep feeding the things that disturb your mind. You say you want discipline, but you keep negotiating with the behaviors that destroy it. You say you want a different life, but you keep protecting the routines that created the current one. You cannot build a strong future while defending weak patterns. Here's how the weaker version of you stays alive. It negotiates. It negotiates with the alarm. It negotiates with the workout. It negotiates with the hard conversation. It negotiates with the project you know you need to start. It negotiates with discipline itself. Maybe later. Just this once. I'm too tired. I'll restart tomorrow. I need to be in the right mindset first. That weaker self is not powerful enough to command your life directly, so it survives by bargaining with it. And every time you say yes, it grows. It learns your patterns. It learns your excuses. It learns exactly what to whisper when you're tired, lonely, bored, emotional, or uncertain. That's why this battle feels so personal, because it is. You are not always fighting the world. A lot of the time, you are fighting the version of yourself that has learned how to keep you small. And if you keep listening to it, one day you wake up and realize your life was not stolen from you. So here's the first truth you need to accept. You need to stop waiting to feel ready. Most people are controlled by emotion. If they feel motivated, they move. If they feel clear, they focus. If they feel inspired, they commit. But disciplined people do not build their lives around temporary emotional weather. They act first, then their feelings catch up. That is one of the clearest differences between a fragile identity and a disciplined one. A fragile identity waits for permission. A disciplined identity gives itself a command and follows it. So when your mind says, wait, move. When it says tomorrow, begin today. When it says you're tired, Do what must be done anyway. Because every time you act without needing emotional permission, you weaken the old self. And every time you hesitate, you feed it. You are not trying to feel your way into discipline. You are acting your way into a new identity. The second truth is this: stop chasing intensity. Raise your standard. Anybody can feel powerful for one day. Anybody can watch a video, get fired up, and imagine a completely different life. That means nothing. Your life is not built by your highest peak. It is built by your floor. Your floor is who you are on the bad day. Your floor is how you act when nobody's watching. Your floor is what you do when you're tired, irritated, disappointed, tempted, distracted, or bored. That is your real character. So stop asking, what can I do when I'm feeling my best? Ask, what standard do I refuse to fall below? Maybe that standard is simple. I do not break promises to myself. I do not start the day in chaos. I do not let one bad moment become a bad week. I do not keep habits that cost me my self-respect. I do not stay loyal to what is making me weaker. That is where real discipline begins, not in hype, in non-negotiability. Now, let's get to the hardest part. Some things in your life do not need better balance, they need removal. Read that again in your mind. Not everything can be managed. Not everything can be used less. Not everything can stay in your life while you try to evolve. Some things are feeding the weaker version of you too effectively. The habit, the distraction, the environment, the relationship, the app, the routine, the constant overstimulation, the repeated return to what numbs you, delays you, and weakens you. And the truth is brutal. You cannot become stronger while serving what keeps you weak. You cannot become peaceful while feeding chaos. You cannot become disciplined while staying attached to what destroys your focus. You cannot claim you want a new life while defending the very patterns that are sabotaging it. Growth is not always about adding something. A lot of the time, growth is subtraction. Delete what feeds your weakest self. Cut off its food supply. Because if you keep making weakness convenient, you will keep experiencing discipline as impossible. Now understand what's actually at stake. This is not just about productivity. This is not just about routines. This is not just about becoming more efficient. This is about whether you can trust yourself, whether your word means anything, whether your future is being built by intention or slowly handed over to avoidance. Whether 5 years from now you feel proud of who led your life or disappointed in who kept delaying it. Because if you keep protecting the weaker version of yourself, it will cost you everything slowly. Your confidence, your peace, your edge, your opportunities, your standards, your self-respect. And the worst part is that you won't lose them all at once. You'll lose them in little invisible pieces while telling yourself you still have time. That is how people wake up years later and realize they did not ruin their life in one dramatic moment. So here's the decision. Stop trying to improve the weaker version of you. Stop negotiating with it. Stop comforting it. Stop explaining it. Stop giving it one more week, one more excuse, one more restart date. It has had enough chances. End it. End the version of you that loves delay. End the version that performs ambition but avoids discipline. End the version that keeps betraying your future for temporary relief. End the version that keeps asking for a better life while protecting the habits that prevent it. And replace it with a code, a standard, a flaw. A version of you that moves when it's hard, stays when it's boring, and follows through when nobody is watching. Because the person you want to become is not built through motivation. They are built every time the weaker version of you speaks, and you refuse to obey. If this hits something real in you, subscribe, and in the comments, write this. The version of me that keeps betraying my future ends here.